people of the internet. Ian Altosaar, the Freedom Astrologer, once again here and giving you a weekly dose of freedom. So, guys, last time we finished the weekly review during or on the 6th of February, and now we're just going to continue. And we're going to start from the 7th of February onwards, maybe a little bit of a recap, and let's see where we get, or let's see what we get actually from the coming week. Now, we mentioned last time everything is straight, all the planets are straight, so that is good. That is good. Things are moving onwards again after the new moon. A little bit of a tough new moon, maybe emotionally a little bit heavy new moon. We're moving straight. And now we have a little bit of a boost here. You know, Moon is entering Taurus right on the 7th of February, depending on where you are in the world. So Moon is best in Taurus. So this means usually our emotions and feelings are grounded. Now, having said that, every time right now, or until even 2023, the Moon enters Taurus, its best sign, it's going to be squaring Saturn. So, although the Moon is best in Taurus and our emotions and feelings are grounded, and people usually are more kind of solid in their feeling, and there are less reactions, and people get along a little bit better, and everything is a little bit pleasant during Moon in Taurus. But this time, not only Saturn squares the Moon, but Moon is also conjunct Uranus. And Uranus and Saturn are still in a sign-based square. So this does give a little bit of an edginess to every moon in Taurus. So we get a moon in Taurus in every month. So we're going to get a bit of like the normal Taurusy grounded moon has a certain kind of edginess to it. So be on the lookout for that. And you know, just because moon is in Taurus right now, it's not going to be only smooth sailing with our emotional feelings and kind of even all around. If you normally look outside and the moon is in Taurus for around 2.5 days, most often people are quite pleasant. And when you start to observe astrology, but now there is a certain kind of edginess, even when you go to the store, or kind of like there's this underlying what's the word I'm looking for? There's a certain kind of tension there with people, even with Moon in Taurus. And we just also had the Saturn Sun conjunction as well during very close to the new moon, and this did put a damper on our confidence. Definitely, the emotions were heavy, definitely with the new moon. But luckily, it's starting to separate now. All those older people who might have kind of, or people who might have put some harsh things on our creative projects or even creative outflow in our lives. You should start to separate a little bit, and you know, they are still in a Jupiter term. So whenever it's in a Jupiter term, or the aspect or the configuration happens in a Jupiter term, it kind of eases the tension a little bit. So hopefully it's almost like the dampening or the criticism or the reality check we receive has a higher purpose and higher meaning to it as well. So there's it can be harsh, it can be a little bit painful, but there's a higher meaning behind it and a higher purpose, so we can move towards the future here. Now, what is interesting here, there is a lot of earth energy during the 7th and 8th, and a little bit in during the 9th, because the moon is also in earth signs as well, or earth sign, sorry. And you know, fixed energy, cardinal energy. Yes, there is a cardinal energy, but it's earth cardinal energy. So yeah, things might move a little bit slower after the new moon now here during the 7th, and because it's, you know, earth, people take things a little bit slower here. What did I? Oh, okay. So the next part we want to talk about happens. We get a little bit of a boost here. And remember, guys, we have now Mars is exalted in Capricorn. I wanted to talk about this because I didn't mention too much about that last time. So whenever Mars is in Capricorn, of course it influences the natal chart position you have, or where Capricorn is. Mars is transiting that house. But also, in a general theme, there is a certain kind of let's move gradually towards our goal, like almost like our material foundations and career. And there, it's a steady movement towards these matters. It's not rushed, it's planned. We love Mars in Capricorn. We like what it's doing in Capricorn. And yeah, generally just love Mars in Capricorn. Just to use this energy to basically gradually move towards your goals, plan these out, and then take action gradually as well. Really good energy for that. And I mean, Capricorn stellium, we still have it going on here. You can see it's generally a very good time to just continue onwards, continue working, put your head down, and make things happen in a slow but gradual manner. Now, the Mars and Jupiter sextile is separating now. Mars is moving away from Jupiter. So whenever an aspect is moving away from each other, let's put it that way, it usually means the influence a little bit weaker. You can still feel that certain kind of energized, a little bit energized optimism here, more increased ambition. Definitely, it can be felt, or even the last time I didn't say it, it's like almost like fighting for some greater good, but in a really good gradual movement kind of way. Like I have this goal, and this is something that is, or I want to even add some higher meaning to this goal, or even you can find some higher meaning towards moving towards your goals as well. But this starts to separate a little bit now. We have during the 7th, later on in the day, we have a little bit of a boost to our emotions because Moon and Jupiter in a sextile, and both are in nice terms as well. So it's a lovely time because both Moon and Jupiter are strong. Yes, some excitement here with the conjunction to Uranus with Moon, but Jupiter will expand that. Hopefully dial down a little bit of that Saturnian edginess that I spoke about, and then bring more of that optimism and positivity to our emotional lives as well. So remember that, guys, for the 7th as well. Yeah, we again, we don't have any fire energy. Whenever we don't have fire energy, the let's say the very quick and ambitious and very much quick energetic forward movements are kind of dialed down. And like I said, everything is earth, a little bit of cardinal, yeah, fixed here, mutable. As a fire sign myself, I'm not super loving the slow moving energy, but we must basically, guys, this is what it is. We must know that the energy is a little bit slower here. The movement is a little bit slower. We need to continue on the things that we've been working on. We need to change things in the things we've been working on. But for those of you who have a lot of fire in the chart and need that constant action and excitement and adventure, it can seem just like almost like too slow. So remember that, guys, as well. So let's move onwards to the 8th of February gradually here. And we just had the conjunction here. What did I want to talk about? I talked all about. I remember the Moon and Saturn square, but it will actually be exact during the 8th. So yes, the edginess will be. You will start to feel that during the 7th, but 8th, it will be exact with Saturn So you'll feel that heaviness, kind of that dampness to your emotions. It's a momentary, definitely a couple of hours of that heaviness here. Dampens the emotional feelings. What did I want to say about this? Sextile. Oh yeah, Moon and Neptune sextile. I don't know if we want to talk about that too much. Let's talk a little bit about that. Moon and Neptune sextile here. I mean, Moon at 21, where is it? So it's we're still in Jupiter terms, so the Moon is still fine, and Neptune in Mars terms, okay, again, grounds that edginess a little bit, dials down that earthliness. Neptune, Moon sextile brings a pleasantness to our emotions and feeling life, definitely, and a little bit of a kind of like chill vibe to it. Maybe even when I look at this again, it's a nice moment to maybe do some creative, because Neptune in Pisces, and creative and spiritual, because Neptune in Pisces and Moon in Taurus, it's a little bit of a creative window for a lot of people here. Okay, and at the same time, Moon, Sun in a square, a little bit of I want to do this materially, practically, but my emotions are kind of like saying, oh, I need to chill, I need to do something else, I need to kind of vibe out. So that can be happening there. And later on, where are we? So this is still on the or already on the 9th of February. Moon will be conjunct Algol like every month. So this is the strange thing about Moon in Taurus. It's usually very pleasant. I really love Moon in Taurus, but now end of every Moon in Taurus, it is conjunct the fixed star Algol. So fixed star Algol, most of you maybe know, some of you don't. That's okay. There is a certain element of evilness, accidents. So what I've observed very often is when the Moon is conjunct Algol, there's some sort of news usually about some sort of accident somewhere, especially if we're talking again with Mars, but even Moon as well. There's a certain kind of evil is a very strong word. It's not evil that's spreading all around, but it's kind of like this a little bit of emotional darkness there going on whenever this happens. And it happens every month. Remember this luckily it's a shorter period, but still there is a bit of a conjunction to Algol here happening. And we have the Moon conjunct North Node as well, because North Node and Moon together, there is a certain kind of, even in Taurus, when it's grounded, North Node is a very obsessive energy. So it can almost be like we want something emotionally, we want to feel something really deeply during this moment. It's during the 9th, early here in Europe, depending on where you are in the world. It can be, the 8th as well. Late in the evening, 8th February, but still there is an intensity to our emotions and feelings going on with the Moon and North Node and Algol. Remember this, guys. So I do always like a little bit of above, because after the conjunction to Algol, Moon will be void, of course. If yes, it will be. So Moon will make no aspect. After that, it will make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will make a nice trine to Pluto. So actually, I think what this is a good time for, like 9th of February, late 8th of February, depending on where you are in the world. It's a little bit of a time to go behind the scenes, meditate, whatever your spiritual practice is, do some kind of emotional work if possible. It's a good time for that, definitely, here. Now, okay, let's move to, okay, so the moon now starts to move into an air sign as well, as you can see. Now, during the 9th, it will move into the sign of Gemini, so it gives a little bit of a more socialness. We want to interact more with people, we want to talk more, we want to communicate more about our ideas. We need that socializing, we need that social media fix, get that phone out and really go into social media and talk with our friends and communicate about different things, and our mind is curious. And we want to learn about different kinds of matters. Let me turn. What did I want to talk about here? Oh, I think I forgot to mention something, but I think it's a good time because 8th, 9th, Uranus, you can see here, and Mars from Capricorn and Uranus from Taurus, these are going to make a trine. So trine is a lovely aspect to make between these two. And I really do like it. It's in Earth signs, so I wouldn't get super excited about it. But I remember Mars is still strong. Mars is really nice. It will give another energized boost to us. There's a certain kind of excitability. But this is one of the reasons I like a little bit of that Earth energy. And the other side, I'm going like, maybe it's almost too dampening here. Because we like excitability, and we like to be excited, and we like to move forward, we like to do things in the world. And in this case, we have two edgy, excited energy planets that have the kind of qualities to boost our energy levels, but they're both in Earth signs. So I'm almost like a little bit excited. Again, it talks a little bit about working towards our material goals, our kind of like projects and dreams in a very, again, a pretty grounded manner, in a very planned out and gradual manner, working towards our goal. I think this is a good transit to do that for sure. What did I want to say about? I wanted to say something else about this nice, lovely trine. Hopefully, it comes to me later on. And let's move a little bit further on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's move onwards to, maybe let's move onwards to the 10th of February already. We still have Moon in Gemini. We have, this is an interesting one because the exalted Mars will start to catch up to Venus now. And they're almost within a degree on the 10th. Not quite yet. But for those of you who are very much Libras or Tauruses or Venus ruled, like we say, you're going to receive a boost, definitely receive an energy boost here with Mars. And we like this boost because it's in Capricorn, so it's a good boost. It dials down the too much aggressiveness of Mars, but keeps the ambition and keeps the drive going on. And I like that, and especially women as well. Women will definitely feel more of this. Women and people who are ruled by Venus, and will start to feel more ambitious. Women and again both will start to feel more ambitious, more energized, more like goal purpose oriented, and working towards their material goals and career goals. Very much so. So be on the lookout for that if you're a woman or Venus ruled. Just like a side note with this is like the action you're about to take is good most often because it's going from a grounded space. But just be careful when you're starting to maybe run around too much. There can be some injuries or around maybe a few cuts here and there. If you're working with maybe a knife in the kitchen, so be a little bit extra careful there. Within relationship, this conjunction starts to bring in a little bit of an aggressiveness, a certain kind of, but good for business partnerships. Definitely, it will start to energize those business partnerships, and more ambitious business partners. Your business partners will be kind of like almost like pushing you a little bit here. Let's start. Let's move. Let's go. Let's move towards our goals. You know. And it can be our spouse as well, or it can be somebody you're in a one-on-one relationship, kind of like, okay, let's start doing this. Let's start moving. Let's start going forwards and onwards from here. So I generally like this conjunction. The only side is there can be some still some, you know, because Mars, some verbal fights or some aggression. I don't want to go too much in deep, but it can mean some physical, you know, if we're talking about, you know, physical altercation. Yes, it can mean some physical altercation happening. Luckily, it's happening in a really, or starting to happen. Mars is still in Jupiter term, and a lot of the conjunction at first will happen in Venus terms. So Venus hopefully helps us to see the other side and the perspective of both. So at least the beginning of this conjunction will be a little bit in nicer terms. We'll talk about when it gets to these Saturn and Mars terms later on. Then the conjunction will take a little bit of a more edginess to it, definitely. So, what did I want to say? Moon. Yeah, Moon conjunction Aldebaran. It's a good moment here. It's a fixed star Moon conjunction again during the 10th of February. It's a good time to do something publicly in Gemini, social media, internet communication. You know, put something out there, put some post out there, something along those lines. Doing something there in a social kind of like social setting or internet. Yeah, good time. Okay, let's go a little bit forward. Talking a lot about this here. Thing has been going too long. Now, I want to talk about this Moon square to Neptune. Like I remember when Moon and Neptune are in a pleasant, like they were before I talked about, but Moon and Neptune in a square. It's kind of like a for me. I don't like this aspect at all. Again, it's like some disillusionment, some like almost confusion with our emotions and feelings. Luckily, again, it's a pretty short term aspect, guys. So maybe not. Both are in Mars terms as well in this case. So it's not looking like the 11th of February, early morning if you're in Europe. Most likely late evening or midnight when this happens around other places. So, what can I suggest here with this Moon and Neptune? It's almost like something, some communication, some sort of online thing can almost like mislead us as well, because when it was conjunct Aldebaran here at 10-11 degrees around here, it's a good time to post, but later on it's like better stay away. I mean, doing something along the lines of like reading some sort of almost like fantasy literature or kind of like yoga, I think can be good here. But communication, uh, misunderstanding and misreading feelings, definitely a theme here. So be on the lookout for that. Do. Oh, important one. We talked about this in the last video, but Pluto and Mercury conjunct in the term of Mars. So the communication here can turn up the kind of like intensiveness. Remember, it's like a very suspicious kind of aspect. Like our minds are suspicious. We're suspicious in our communication. We might even be like thinking the worst of people, thinking the worst in everything. It's like a very conspiracy theorist kind of conjunction here. And communication, definitely be careful with saying like sharp, mean things to other people, kind of like the gaslighting and twisting that like almost like making it seem like what you're saying is good, but it's like a very mean, constructive, hidden, manipulative thing that you're actually saying to another person. And our minds is, yeah, very suspicious here. So this conjunction can take a little bit of a while. The positive side of this is that you almost like penetrate through another one, and like strong ideas can come, but like be a little bit like careful with it being too suspicious, you know? Like you get some insight to somebody during a communication, you know, talking to them. Be careful of it being like um too suspicious of them, or too suspecting of them. Let's put it that way. Let's keep it at that. Okay. Mm, so let's move onwards because I've talked too much again, and the video is getting too long. Da 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 da. Moon in Cancer. So again, after this kind of excited, yeah, Gemini, let's talk, let's communicate. Now, a couple of days, Moon is in Cancer. We want to be at home. We kind of feel more in tune with our emotions and feelings. There's a lot of emphasis on home feelings, nurturing. That can sometimes, you know, be a little bit mm, not so good for doing business stuff because there's so much still going on in our emotional lives, and we want to be home and with our families and stuff like that. Other energies are actually supporting that other side of kind of going still towards those material goals type of thing. So I think we can find a balance here. You just be careful around, you know, when Moon is in Cancer. There's so much emotional feeling going on. It's not bad. Moon is in its home, in Cancer, but still a lot of emphasis on feeling and just yeah, maybe too not so much in doing. Just want to sit in your emotions and feelings almost. Luckily, we get a boost again. Moon, trine, Jupiter, both in nice terms when that happens. So again, and definitely whenever Moon, like even in hard aspect, Moon and Jupiter are still, it's like an emotional boost for a couple of hours or even a little bit more during that day. So it's, what is it happening? Yeah, around the 12th of February, that whole like afternoon is going to be emotionally boosted. Moon is strong, Jupiter is nice, very good stuff for us. And maybe later this evening, Moon is going to be opposing Mars as well. So again, that it adds to that emotional up and down, and maybe reacting. Luckily, Mars is good, so not too much of that happening. Guys, let's start wrapping this up because I've gone much longer than I wanted and much longer than I kind of planned on it. Guys, I think this week, I like this week a little bit more positive aspects. The moon is stronger. We're out of that heaviness of that new moon. Saturn and the sun are separating. That heaviness starts to lift. I'm seeing a little bit of a more of a boost here for our emotions, feelings definitely, but also kind of like energize us in kind of ways of moving towards something we like to achieve in life, achieve some goal in life, and it's a good time to keep working, keep doing, keep making. And hope this weekly review is good for you, and please let me know in the comments below. I will definitely do my best to keep these things shorter from now on onwards. Or maybe we'll do more videos. Let's see, because there's so many influences to talk about, to dissect. I feel like sometimes I need even more time. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, listening. See you again soon in the next video.